Hello and welcome to today's edition of Sports Around the World. I am Blessing Bassin. Now on the headlines. Austin Eguavoen steps down as Super Eagles coach. Comoros keeper Ali Hamada now available for Cup of Nations clash against Cameroon. Mbato Novak Djokovic plans 2023 Australian Open returns. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you the news in details. Welcome back. It's still Sports Around the World. Austin Eguavoen has left his role as the interim coach of the Super Eagles after the team's exodus from the African Cup of Nations on Sunday. After a perfect group stage outing, the team failed to defeat a conflicted Tunisia side to end Eguavoen's hope of keeping the job on a permanent basis. Although the National Football Federation had engaged the services of Portuguese coach José Peseiro, there were suggestions that Eguavoen stands a chance of keeping the job if he could win Nigeria's half-fought AFCON title. A 47th minute, Yusuf Nsakni put paid to that hope as a post-match press conference. Eguavoen said that he has decided to return to his role as technical director of the NFF. Attention will now turn to the World Cup playoffs against Ghana, fixed for March. Moving on, former international Julius Agaro has expressed his disappointment as Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye for conceding the goal that knocked Nigeria out of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Austin Eguavoen's men had performed so brilliantly in Cameroon until they met the Tunisians in the first knockout round of the tournament. Okoye had conceded just once in 3 group stage games, but a long-range strike off the boot of forward Nsakni somehow beats the 22-year-old in the Nigerian goal barely a minute into the second half. Despite getting reduced to 10 men following the dismissal of Alex Nwobi, the Super Eagles responded well to going behind but could not carve out the vital equalizer. Comoros Island goalkeeper Ali Amada has returned a negative COVID-19 test and will be available to play on Monday against host Cameroon in the last 16 of the African Cup of Nations final, officials said. Comoros were on the brink of being forced to field an outfield player in goal for the biggest game in their footballing history after a COVID-19 outbreak in the camp. Ahmed and fellow goalkeeper Husseini were both forced to isolate after positive tests last week, along with coach Ahmed Abdul and another 5 players. First-choice goalkeeper Salim Ben has suffered a serious shoulder injury and is out of the tournament. Senegal will square off with Cape Verde in the 2021 African Cup of Nations last 16 match at the Stade Omnisports de Bafoussa in Cameroon on Tuesday. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Central African Time. The Lions of Teranga progressed in the knockout phase as Group B winners and they remain the strong favorites to win this year's tournament. Having failed to score in the last 2 matches, Senegal's key attacker Sadio Mane and Boulaye Dia will be under pressure to find the back of the net against Cape Verde. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we have more on Sports Around the World. Welcome back. Moving on, Novak Djokovic intends to play the Australian Open in 2023 Tournament chief Craig Tiley said Sunday while blaming miscommunication for the deportation ahead of this year's event. The world #1 visa was cancelled ahead of the season's opening Grand Slam over his COVID-19 vaccination status, an incident that tied the team up. He flew out of Melbourne a week ago after falling in a last-gasp bid to stay and target a record 21st major title following a protracted legal battle with Australian authorities. Tiley has kept a low profile since, but asked Sunday whether the unvaccinated Serbian planned to return for the 2023 tournament despite the possibility that the visa could be revoked for up to 3 years. He replied yes. Moving on, Anthony Joshua is on the brink of accepting a staggering €15 million payoff to step aside and allow rivals Tyson Fury to fight Alexander Usyk, according to reports. Joshua was beaten by Usyk last September in their mega fight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but has an agreement for a rematch in his contract with the Ukrainian. Despite the organizers in the Middle East are desperate to stage a heavyweight unification bout between Fury and Usyk. Now, according to reports, Joshua is on the brink of accepting €15 million to step aside for now and then fight the winner later this year. In cricket, England captain Joe Root has been named Men's Test Cricketer of the Year by the International Cricket Council. Despite a difficult year for his side, Root hit 1,708 runs in 2021, the third most in a calendar year in Test. He scored 2 double centuries and a further 400, including 3 in successful Tests against India. Root was also nominated for the Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy for ICC Men's Cricketer of the Year, that award going to Pakistan bowler Ahid Afridi. Greek fourth seed Stefanos Tsitsipas battled a thrilling 5-set victory over American Taylor Fritz to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals. The 20-year-old twice came from behind to record a 4-6, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 win shortly after midnight in Melbourne. It will be a third Australian Open quarterfinals for the 2021 French Open finalist Tsitsipas as he continues his bid for a first major title. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we have more on sports around the world. Welcome back. Moving on sports around the world, Burkina Faso beats 10-man Gabon on penalties to reach the quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon following a one-all draw. Ismaila Ouedraogo netted a 5 to give the Stallions a 7-6 win in the shootout. Gabon had Sydney Obisa sent off midway through the second half but grabbed an injury time equalizer when Bruno Manga headed went in off Adama. Burkina Faso captain Bertrand Traoré had missed a penalty before slotting in the opener in the 28th minute. The Stallion will play Tunisia, who beat Nigeria 1-0 later on Sunday in the last 8 on Saturday, 29th January. Moving on, Real Madrid France striker Karim Benzema was the victim of a robbery at his home while he was playing against Elche at the Santiago Bernabeu on Sunday, police said on Monday. The police said the incident took place between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. local time at the player's empty home in the Madrid suburb of San Sebastian de Royals before Benzema and his family returned from Real Sociedad La Liga draw against Elche. The police added that they were investigating whether the incident was connected with the February 2019 robbery Benzema suffered at home during a match against Barcelona. Paris Saint-Germain duo Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe have both been past fit for Sunday's Ligue 1 encounter with Rennes at the Parc des Princes. Messi was restricted to individual training before the clashes with Lyon and Brest, but makes an expected return to the team after joining full training following his COVID-19 recovery. Meanwhile, Mbappe emerged as a doubt in the week due to groin miscomfort, but the Frenchman has been given the green light to take on Le Rouge et Blanc tonight. Moving on, Brentford head coach Thomas Frank has signed a new contract to keep him in the role until the summer of 2025. The Dane's previous deal had been due to expire at the end of next season. The 48-year-old was appointed Bees boss in October 2018 and guided Brentford to promotion from the Championship last season to take the club into the Premier League for the first time. Following Saturday's 2-1 home defeat to Wolves, Brentford are currently 14th in the Premier League, 8 points above the relegation zone. The West London side have won 6 games in their first top-flight campaign since 1947, including victories over Arsenal and West Ham. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue with sports around the world. Welcome back. Moving on sports around the world, two-time Grand Slam winner Simona Halep is out of the Australian Open, losing in 3 sets to France Alice Cornet in hot condition in Melbourne. Cornet 32 trials 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 to reach the quarterfinals of a major for the first time. Romania 14 seed Halep, in a finalist in 2018, had won all 8 of her previous matches in 2022. World number 61 Cornet will face American 27 seed Daniel Collins for a place in the semi-finals. Collins came from behind to beat Belgian 19 seed Elise Mertens 4-6, 6-4, 6-4. Later on Monday, Belarusian second seed Anna Sabalenka plays Estonian Kia Knabi, and Polish 7th seed Iga Swiatek takes on Sorana Cîrstea. Halep 30 had won the Adelaide WTA event in the build-up to the tournament and breezed through her opening 3 matches at the Australian Open for the loss of just 12 games in total. Moving on, Rafael Nadal progressed to the Australian Open quarterfinals with a straight-set win over Adrian Mannarino as the Spaniard continued his quest for a record-breaking 21st major title. Nadal 35 edged an epic 28-minute first-set tie-break as he eventually converted his 70th set point. Mannarino struggled with injury after the tie-break as 6th seed Nadal went on to claim a 7-6, 6-2, 6-2 win. Nadal plays Dani Shapovalov next after he beat third seed Alexander Zverev. Moving on, the Golden State Warriors overcame the Utah Jazz 94-92, while Jason Tatum scored 51 points as the Boston Celtics beat the Washington Wizards 116-87. Jazz turned a 13-point deficit from the third quarter into a 86-83 lead at the end of a 20-4 scoring run. Warriors rallied a late Kevin Looney three-pointer, putting them 5 points ahead, and they held on for the win. LeBron James scored 33 points for the Los Angeles Lakers, but they were beaten 113-107 by the Miami Heat. In cricket, former Zimbabwe captain Brenda Taylor says he was blackmailed into accepting a bribe to Sportfix International Games, but that he never went through with it. Taylor, 35, said he was threatened by businessman in India in October 2019 to Sportfix an international international matches after they filmed him taking cocaine. He said he took $15,000 but has never taken part in match fixing. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we have more on sports around the world. Welcome back. Two second-half goals, including a brilliant strike from Hakim Ziyech, helped Chelsea beat Tottenham to their third time in 3 weeks. After a goalless first half, Ziyech scored within 2 minutes of the restart, Bradley coiling the ball into the top corner from 20 yards after a fine run from Hudson-Odoi. The hosts doubled their lead 8 minutes later when defender Thiago Silva headed in from Mason Mount's excellent free-kick delivery. In the first half, Tottenham thought they had taken the lead as Harry Kane slotted past Kepa Arrizabalaga, but the goal was called out as the England striker was adjudged to have pushed Silva to the ground. The victory follows Chelsea win in both legs of their Carabao Cup semi-final against Spurs, cruising through 3-0 on aggregate to set up a Wembley final against Liverpool. Moving on, La Liga leaders Real Madrid scored 2 goals in the final 8 minutes to fight back from 2-0 down and snatch a draw at home to Elche. Lucas Boye and Pere Milla put the strugglers on course for a shock win, but Luka Modric penalty brought back Real back into the game and then leveled in extra time. Real top scorer Karim Benzema, who missed a first-half penalty when the game was goalless, was forced off with an hamstring strain. The French striker has scored 27 goals in 33 appearances this season for Carlo Ancelotti's side. Real will face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League last season in just over 3 weeks' time. Frank de Jong scored a late winner as Barcelona edged past struggling Alaves to move up to 5th in La Liga. The Netherlands midfielder converted Ferran Torres' first-time cross with 3 minutes remaining. Xavi's side dominated possession, but it was Alaves 19th in the table who had the better chances. The win moves Barca to within a point of 4th place Atletico Madrid, who they host at the Nou Camp next weekend. Manchester City are hoping to complete a deal for River Plate and Argentina forward Julian Alvarez. Alvarez has scored 36 goals in 96 appearances for the Argentines champion and is considered one of the most gifted young players in South America. The 21-year-old made his international debut against Chile last summer and was part of the squad that won the Copa America in July. The forward is currently contracted to River until December 2022. City manager Pep Guardiola has not made any secret of his belief that signing an orthodox striker is essential, even though the striker effectively won last season's Premier League without one and are currently 9 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the table. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll wrap up on sports around the world. Welcome back. Wrapping up with the stories. Daniil Medvedev said he's unhappy when he's not playing on Rod Laver Arena after showing his agitation before beating American Maxime Cressy. The Russian second seed reached the quarterfinals with a 6-7, 6-7, 7-5 victory over the American. Medvedev was frustrated by 24-year-old Cressy's resistance, needing 9 break points to finally take control of the 4th set and the match. All right, on this note, we end today's edition of Sports Around the World. Do join us tomorrow for more. Bye for now.